Get ready to be amazed. If you like fun facts and want to keep discovering more, like and subscribe to Zarpado now that we're getting started. Scientists created a quartz crystal capable of storing 360 terabytes of data for billions of years without energy. It uses 5-dimensional laser recording inside the glass and can withstand temperatures of up to 1,832 degrees Fahrenheit. Its stability could allow all the knowledge of humanity to be preserved for future civilizations. On the paradisiacal island of Siquijor in the Philippines are the majestic Cambuganhay waterfalls, recognized for their intense and transparent turquoise blue water. These waterfalls descend in 5 low terraces with heights ranging from about 6 to 13 feet, framed by lush vegetation and natural stone formations. In Anchorage, Alaska, a curious moose caused surprise when it calmly wandered into the lobby of a hospital. The animal, attracted by the warmth of the building and possibly by the smell of some decorative plants, strolled through the automatic doors as if it were just another visitor. Tulum cheese is an exquisite specialty of Turkish culinary tradition, valued both for its distinctive flavor and its unique production method. This cheese is aged inside sacks made from goat skin, which not only preserves its properties but also gives it an unmistakable taste personality that is slightly spicy, intense, and full of nuances that evolve over time. Anna Galkina, a young woman from Russia, has gained international notoriety under the nickname the Ice Princess. This unusual title was given to her because of her impressive ability to immerse herself in icy waters and consume ice without showing signs of discomfort. Her body seems to naturally adapt to extreme temperatures, challenging levels of cold that most people could not endure. Hamad Fathi is a prominent Egyptian athlete specializing in basketball, known not only for his skills on the court, but also for his imposing height of about 7 feet 6 inches, which places him among the tallest men on the planet. Julia Butterfly is a well-known American environmental activist recognized for her extraordinary act of peaceful resistance that lasted 738 days. For more than 2 years, she remained perched in the crown of a towering California redwood, when a millenary tree about 180 feet tall and approximately 1,000 years old, with the goal of preventing the Pacific Lumber Company from cutting it down. The Suitun cenote, located near Valladolid in the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico, is a natural jewel that belongs to the group of cavern-type cenotes. This place stands out for its impressive scenic beauty, characterized by a semi-closed cavern with an opening in the ceiling that allows rays of sunlight to illuminate the crystal-clear water, creating a fascinating spectacle of light and shadow. Its transparent waters and serene atmosphere make it a favorite destination for tourists. In Colombia, there are truly unique constructions known as upside-down houses that surprise visitors by creating the optical illusion of being completely inverted. These homes are designed and decorated with careful precision so that all their elements from furniture to appliances appear to be placed upside down. Vika Bren is a talented Israeli artist who has gained international recognition for her astonishing body painting technique, in which she transforms her own hand into visually striking optical illusions. Using her skin as a canvas, she creates images that play with perception and trick the eye, turning a simple limb into a surreal piece of art. The green heron is an elegant and small species of heron found in various wet ecosystems across the Americas, including mangroves, riverbanks, swamps, and wetlands. Compact in size, it reaches an approximate length of about 17 inches, making it one of the smallest herons on the continent. And the Grand Lisboa Hotel is one of the most iconic skyscrapers in Macau, China, famous for its spectacular architectural design that evokes the shape of a lotus flower in full bloom. Its golden and curving structure rises elegantly above the urban skyline, making it a visual landmark both day and night. Beer Terrier is a craft beverage from Mexico created especially for dogs to consume. Made with completely natural ingredients such as malt, spirulina, flaxseed, wheat, and very small amounts of hops. This drink is designed to offer a refreshing experience without putting the health of pets at risk. Stefano Fiorina, an Italian artist from Turin born in 1990, has stood out in the world of contemporary art thanks to his original and unconventional approach. Now, his work has captured international attention for a singular technique, the creation of portraits using aluminum trays as a surface. Through this unusual tool, Fiorina prints faces with a distinctive style that challenges the traditional limits of portrait art. The colossal squid is a fascinating species that inhabits the icy waters of the Antarctic Ocean. It stands out for its imposing size and can grow to reach a length of about 46 feet, which places it among the largest squids on the planet. Meet the vampire deer, a singular creature that inhabits the jungles of Southeast Asia and draws attention for its unusual appearance. It receives its name from the elongated curved fangs that emerge from its mouth, capable of measuring up to 4 inches, resembling the teeth of a vampire myth. Despite its intimidating appearance, this deer is completely herbivorous and moves cautiously through the vegetation. The kudu bull is an imposing antelope native to the African continent, famous for its spectacular spiral-shaped horns that can measure up to about 6 feet. This creature mainly inhabits the savannas and scattered forests of sub-Saharan Africa, where it adapts to different ecosystems. Its fur, a mix of brown and grayish tones decorated with vertical white stripes, allows it to blend easily with the natural environment. The monumental wooden sculpture created by Chinese artist Chen Yisun is a work that impresses with its size, detail, and cultural meaning. This piece, which measures about 4,030 feet in length, took 4 years to complete and was carved from a single colossal tree trunk. The work is inspired by the iconic traditional painting Along the River. During the Qingming Festival, a jewel of Chinese art, Gladys Engel was known for walking on the wings of airplanes in mid-flight, defying gravity and danger with extraordinary bravery. She was the only woman member of the legendary group 13 Black Cats, a company of aerial acrobats that amazed audiences during the 1920s in Hollywood. Brock Davis is an American creative known for transforming ordinary objects into surprising artistic pieces that challenge the way we see everyday things. His talent spans several fields, such as photography, sculpture, illustration, and graphic design, blending traditional techniques with innovative ideas. The Babirusa pig is a fascinating species that inhabits the islands of Indonesia, easily recognized for its unusual appearance and extraordinarily curved tusks. These tusks, exclusive to males, can grow so much that they sometimes penetrate the skin of the snout, a feature that makes them unique in the animal kingdom. Originating from the upper canine teeth, they curve backward, extending over the animal's head. Guillaume Fontaine is a talented circus artist and slackline expert from Sherbrooke, Quebec, Canada. Now, since entering this discipline in 2015, he has shown unwavering passion, dedicating himself to perfecting his skills and surpassing his own limits. His dedication and ability allowed him to break several world records, including the longest highline crossing without falling achieved in 2018. The armadillo lizard is a reptile exclusive to the arid and semi-desert regions of Western South Africa, where it mainly lives among rocks and shrubs. Its body is protected by spiny scales that give it a robust and resistant appearance. When facing danger, it rolls itself into a ball and bites its tail, creating a compact sphere that is difficult to penetrate. The caterpillar, known as the dragon head caterpillar, is a fascinating creature found in the tropical jungles of Central and South America. Its most distinctive trait is its astonishing visual defense used to scare away predators. When it feels threatened, it extends the front part of its body, recreating an image that imitates the head of a snake, complete with false eyes and patterns that resemble scales. In Portugal, a group called Lada 65 is revolutionizing street art by integrating older people, especially grandmothers, into the world of graffiti. Created with the mission of fighting loneliness and age-related prejudice, this collective offers workshops where participants learn to create urban art. Later, they bring their talent to the streets, transforming walls with vibrant and cheerful murals that transmit positive messages. In Japan, there are public bathrooms made with smart glass that changes opacity. When they are occupied, the cubicles turn opaque and frosted. When the door is opened, an electric current realigns the glass and makes it completely transparent. This design has become one of the most photographed attractions in Tokyo. In 1999, skydiver Joan Murray fell in free fall at about 80 miles per hour after both parachutes failed. She landed on a nest of red fire ants, and the massive stings injected so much adrenaline that her heart kept beating. After 2 weeks in a coma and 20 surgeries, she survived. The Tesla Optimus robot can sort objects completely autonomously using neural networks that process vision in real time. It is capable of self-calibrating its limbs, correcting its own errors without human intervention, and maintaining balance on a single leg. It is being developed as an advanced home assistant that learns from its environment. Fatal familial insomnia is a genetic disease that destroys the thalamus, the part of the brain that controls the sleep and wake cycle. Patients progressively lose the ability to sleep, moving from mild insomnia to hallucinations, dementia, and finally death from total exhaustion. Sleeping pills are useless because the brain becomes physically incapable of entering the sleep phase. The Australian wombat is the only animal in the world that produces cube-shaped poop. Its intestines are extremely efficient at removing water and compacting waste, resulting in this unique geometric shape. These cubes are used to mark territory, and because they are square, they do not roll or scatter easily. Xenobots are the first living robots in the world created from stem cells of frog embryos. They have no wires or metal, but they can walk, work in groups, and even reproduce through kinetic replication. At less than 1 millimeter in size, they could navigate through the human body to clean arteries or detect diseases. Roy Sullivan was struck by lightning 7 different times throughout his life and survived every one of them. The probability of being struck by lightning and surviving is about 1 in 3 million, so the mathematics make his case practically impossible. His story was studied by scientists who researched the effects of electrical discharges on the human body, and the giraffe has blood pressure about twice that of a human in order to pump blood up to its head at great height. It has a system of valves in the jugular vein and a spongy network of vessels at the base of the brain that slows the flow suddenly when it lowers its head to drink. Without this, the pressure when bending down would make the brain burst or cause instant fainting. Prince Rupert's drops are a form of glass that has fascinated scientists for centuries. They have the shape of a transparent tadpole, and their strength is astonishing. Not even a hammer can break them. Only if the thin tail is broken does the entire structure explode in microseconds into thousands of dust particles. The okapi seems like an impossible mix. It has zebra stripes on its legs, but the body structure of a giraffe. Its tongue measures about 12 inches and is so flexible that it can clean the inside of its own ears and wash its eyelids. Despite its exotic appearance, it was practically unknown to Western science until well into the 20th century. The orchid mantis looks like a tropical flower and has one of the most perfect camouflage systems in the animal kingdom. Unlike other insects that hide, this mantis actively attracts its prey because bees and butterflies approach believing it is a real plant. It is one of the most fascinating examples of aggressive mimicry in nature. NASA converted the vibrations of the sun into sounds audible to the human ear. By capturing oscillations in the solar atmosphere, researchers transformed them into a deep melody that reveals how energy flows inside the star. This allows them to detect changes in solar activity before they become visible from Earth. Eyebrows are more important than eyes for recognizing faces. A study from the University of Lethbridge showed that people have more difficulty recognizing friends or celebrities in photos if their eyebrows are removed than if their eyes are removed. Evolutionarily, they are essential for nonverbal communication and identity recognition. The jabuticaba tree has a unique characteristic. Its fruits grow directly on the main trunk, not on the branches. They range from purple to black when ripe and are so attached to the trunk that the tree looks covered with giant grapes sprouting from the wood. It is native to Brazil, and its fruit is used to make wines, liquors, and jams. To swim for the first time in their lives, emperor penguin chicks must jump from an ice cliff about 49 feet high. With no prior practice or instruction, the young birds leap into the void and fall directly into the Antarctic Ocean. Instinct guides them from the very first moment, and most manage to swim naturally. Diamonds created in laboratories are chemically, physically, and optically identical to natural ones, but with a much more ethical origin. They are grown in chambers that replicate the pressure and temperature of the Earth's mantle without removing tons of soil or consuming massive amounts of water. And the result is a gem with the same brilliance and hardness, but at a lower cost and without traces of social conflict. The horned lizard has a defense mechanism that seems like something from a movie. It shoots jets of blood from its own eyes. It can increase the blood pressure in its head until the eyelid capillaries rupture and launch a stream more than about 3 feet away. The blood has a horrible chemical taste designed specifically to disgust coyotes and foxes. The theremin was one of the first electronic instruments in history invented in 1920, and it has a unique feature: the performer never touches it while playing. The musician moves their hands in the air around the instrument, and proximity generates the sound. It became a favorite of 20th century horror and science fiction composers. The Cao Vang of Vietnam, known as the Golden Bridge, or the Bridge of Hands, is a walkway about 490 feet long, supported by 2 giant stone hands. It rises about 3,280 feet above sea level and offers impressive panoramic views of the jungle and valley. Since its inauguration in 2018, it has become one of the most photographed spots in Asia. The asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter is not the chaotic field shown in movies. The average distance between 2 considerable asteroids is about 620,000 miles. The probability of a spacecraft colliding with one while crossing it is about 1 in 1 billion, which is why probes pass through it without needing evasive maneuvers. A new blood test can detect Parkinson's disease up to 3 years before the first symptoms appear. It uses artificial intelligence to analyze specific proteins in plasma, identifying neuronal deterioration in its earliest stages. This opens a critical window to apply treatments that could delay or even stop the progression of the disease. NASA marked a historic milestone by sending for the first time a high-definition video from deep space using laser communication. This infrared system transmits data at speeds 100 times faster than radio waves, sending sharp images from millions of miles away in seconds. For the test, the agency transmitted a clip of a cat chasing a laser pointer. The land diving of Pentecost Island in Vanuatu was the original inspiration for modern bungee jumping. Men jump from wooden towers about 98 feet high with only vines tied to their ankles. There is no harness or safety equipment, and the vines are calculated so the jumper's head barely touches the ground at the bottom. GPS would not work without Einstein's theory of relativity. The clocks of satellites run faster than those on Earth because of their speed and weaker gravity. And this difference must be corrected by 38 microseconds every day so the system can calculate your position correctly, because without that correction, the accumulated error would make GPS completely useless. In the Yotsugi neighborhood of Tokyo, there is a complete tribute to the anime Super Campeones with statues of the character on every corner, murals on the walls, and urban furniture decorated with the anime designs. Everything was installed in honor of the creator of the series, who was born in that area of the city. It is one of the most photographed destinations for anime fans visiting Japan. An Icelandic company built a giant keyboard where horses can walk to respond to emails. The animals were trained to associate certain movements with specific letters and symbols. By walking on the keys, they generate automatic responses to work emails that employees receive during their vacations. The British artist Sam Cox, better known as Mr. Doodle, spent 2 years painting his doodles in every corner of his mansion. The walls, the ceiling, the furniture, and even the appliances ended up completely covered with his black and white creations. It is one of the most recognizable houses in the world on social media, and the project required more than 9 quarts of paint per day. Ketchup originally had nothing to do with tomatoes. It was an Asian sauce called ketchup, made from fermented fish intestines and spices. The British brought it to Europe, and it was not until the 19th century in the United States that tomato and sugar were added to create the sweet red version we know today. The iodine clock reaction mixes 2 completely transparent and colorless solutions in a glass. For about 20 seconds, nothing seems to happen, and then suddenly the liquid turns deep black. This abrupt change occurs because the internal chemical reactions reach their equilibrium point and collapse at the same time. Smart speed bumps are filled with a liquid that behaves differently depending on the speed of the vehicle. If a car passes at a legal speed, the liquid deforms under the weight and passengers barely feel it. But if the car is moving fast, the pressure instantly hardens the liquid, and the driver experiences it like a very pronounced traditional speed bump. The rainbow thornbill hummingbird is one of the most dazzling birds in the world when sunlight hits it from the front. Its plumage shifts from emerald green to turquoise blue and intense orange, depending on the angle of the light. It measures between about 4 and 5 inches and is one of the most sought-after species by nature photographers throughout Latin America. The Falkirk Wheel in Scotland is a rotating boat lift that raises vessels about 79 feet in just 4 minutes. Its design was inspired by the structure of DNA, and thanks to its counterweights, it consumes the same energy as 8 electric kettles to operate. It replaced a system of locks that previously took hours to complete the same journey. In the state of Utah, authorities have spent decades restocking mountain lakes by dropping fish from airplanes because many of those lakes are completely inaccessible by vehicle. The fish are transported in special tanks and released from just a few feet above the water. While most survive without problems because the water cushions the impact and the animal's instincts activate immediately. High heels were originally invented for Persian cavalry soldiers in the 10th century. The heel helps secure the boot in the horse's stirrup, allowing the soldier to stand on the saddle and shoot arrows accurately without slipping. Later, European aristocrats adopted them to appear taller and more masculine before they eventually became part of women's fashion. An artificial intelligence developed by MIT can detect pancreatic cancer up to 3 years before it becomes visible through traditional methods. It analyzes medical records and patterns in images that the human eye cannot detect. Because pancreatic cancer is one of the most aggressive due to late detection, this technology could save millions of lives. In the Red Bull Paper Wings World Championship of paper airplanes, only a single sheet of paper is needed to compete. The contests are divided into flight distance and time in the air, and the winning designs incorporate extremely precise aerodynamic folds. It is the ultimate demonstration that aerodynamics does not need engines to exist. The Reeves's pheasant has a tail that can reach about 31 inches, combined with a body of up to about 47 inches. Its plumage blends golden, black, and white tones in an incredibly elaborate pattern. It is native to the mountains of central China, and that extraordinarily long tail is the feature males display to attract females. Train wheels are not straight cylinders, but instead have a cone shape. And this inclination allows the train to take curves in a stable way without needing a mechanical differential. In a curve, the outer wheel automatically uses the wider part of the cone to travel a longer distance than the inner wheel, naturally compensating for the difference. The Israeli artist Vika Brand creates impossible optical illusions using only her body paint and common surfaces. She makes parts of her figure appear to disappear or merge with the environment with such precision that even knowing the trick, it is difficult to believe. She does not use any kind of digital editing, only perspective color and total mastery of form. The tramp in Trondheim, Norway, was the first bicycle lift in the world, created in the 1990s by a worker tired of climbing a hill about 490 feet high every day. The system pushes the cyclist uphill using a mechanical platform. Since then, it has been improved and carries thousands of cyclists each year to the top of the hill. Electric flying taxis are already operating in several cities around the world. These vertical takeoff and landing aircraft reduce trips that would take 1 hour in traffic to just about 10 minutes of quiet flight with zero emissions. Their goal is to reduce congestion on the streets by turning the sky into a network of public transportation. The way sperm whales sleep is one of the most surreal sights in the ocean. They do not swim while sleeping. Instead, they position themselves completely vertical with their heads pointing upward or downward and remain floating motionless in groups. During these periods of about 15 minutes, they shut down half of their brain, resembling a forest of giant submerged columns. Blue-banded bees from Australia are completely unusual. They are solitary and do not form colonies. Each female builds her own nests, digs tunnels in the soil, and raises her eggs independently. They also do not produce honey, so they do not have the defensive instinct of other species, and their bright blue abdomen is one of the most striking colorations of any Australian insect. The planarian has no respiratory or circulatory system, lacks conventional eyes, is hermaphroditic, and can regenerate any part of its body that it loses. If it is cut into several pieces, each fragment can develop into a complete and independent organism. Under proper conditions, its cells regenerate indefinitely without signs of aging, making it a candidate for the study of biological immortality. The tallest Ferris wheel in the world stands about 820 feet tall and opened in Dubai in October 2021. It has 48 climate-controlled cabins and offers 360-degree panoramic views of the skyline, the Persian Gulf, and the artificial islands of the Emirate. A full rotation lasts about 38 minutes. Cashews are never sold in their shell because the shell contains an extremely powerful caustic oil called urushiol, the same toxin found in poison ivy. If you touch the shell, you would develop chemical blisters on your skin. The nuts must be processed with industrial heat to remove the poison before they are safe for human consumption. At the Shanghai Tower, the second tallest skyscraper in the world at about 2,073 feet, has 270 wind turbines integrated into its facade. Its spiral shape reduces wind impact by 24% compared with a straight building. Its 106 elevators travel at about 59 feet per second, making them among the fastest in the world. The artist Kurt R. Raleigh creates impressive portraits and landscapes on wood, using fire as his tool, a technique called pyrography. He has completed more than 400 commissions and sent his works around the world. None of his pieces are identical because each wood grain guides the final result in a unique way. The glass bridge of Son La in Vietnam is more than about 1,968 feet long, and its floor is completely transparent. And with every step, visitors can see the abyss directly below, leaving many with trembling legs. It was built following the strictest European safety standards and can support the weight of hundreds of people at the same time. A YouTuber built a robotic exoskeleton for snakes that turns them into quadruped reptiles. The frame includes 4 small mechanical legs controlled by the undulating movement of the animal's body. The result is deeply unsettling, a snake walking on 4 legs with surprisingly fluid movements. Russell Grady was born with Down syndrome and began working at McDonald's Australia in 1986 when workplace inclusion was practically non-existent. What began as a trial became a career lasting more than 32 years. Customers did not go only for the food, but also for Russell's genuine greeting, proving that no label defines a person's potential. The Drake Passage, which connects the southern tip of South America with Antarctica, is considered the most dangerous stretch of sea on the planet. It spans nearly 620 miles of open water where the Atlantic, the Pacific, and the Antarctic Oceans meet without any continental barrier to slow the waves. Historic sailors described it as a place where the sky and sea merged into a wall of water and wind. Sponge cities are an urban design concept in China that uses permeable pavement in floodable parks to absorb rainwater naturally. Instead of concrete tunnels that collapse quickly, the ground acts like a living barrier, capturing excess water in artificial wetlands. In addition to preventing disasters, the system cools cities during heat waves and restores local ecosystems. The male Asian paradise flycatcher has central tail feathers as long as the rest of its body. Depending on the population, the plumage can be black and rufous or completely white. In full flight, the long feathers ripple behind them like silk ribbons floating in the wind, making this bird one of the most elegant in East. Are you enjoying the facts? Give the video a like and subscribe to the channel so you do not miss the next ones. Ice does not kill bacteria, it only freezes them and puts them on pause. When thawed, they come back to life as if nothing happened. That is why doctors insist on not refreezing something that has already been thawed. Raw chicken can contain salmonella or E. coli, and if it is thawed improperly, the bacteria that survived in pause can multiply quickly under favorable conditions. Antennas with fifth-generation technology were installed more than about 26,247 feet high on the summit of Everest. Now climbers can make high-definition video calls directly from the peak. This infrastructure also improves safety during expeditions since rescue teams and meteorologists receive critical data in real time from the highest point on the planet. The hoverbike from the Japanese company ALI Technologies is the first commercially available flying motorcycle. It can reach about 62 miles per hour and fly for up to about 40 minutes on a single charge. Its ultralight carbon fiber structure and electric rotors give it stability in flight and represent the first real step toward a world where motorcycles do not need roads. Nacreous clouds are one of the most beautiful and rare atmospheric phenomena on the planet. They form at temperatures below about -121 degrees Fahrenheit in the highest layers of the stratosphere, and their iridescent colors constantly change depending on the angle of the sun. They are mainly visible in winter at polar latitudes, and their appearance always triggers an explosion of photographs on social media. In Miniland, USA, inside Legoland, California, 7 iconic cities of the United States were recreated with more than 10 million Lego bricks. The project includes the skyscrapers of New York, the casinos of Las Vegas, and the White House. And every Pringles chip has the exact shape of a hyperbolic paraboloid, a geometric structure calculated with supercomputers. This shape allows them to be stacked with millimeter precision and distribute pressure evenly, so the ones at the bottom do not crumble. The creator of the formula was so proud of the design that he asked for his ashes to be buried in one of the iconic cans. The Yamaha Motoroid 2 is the first autonomous electric motorcycle without handlebars that stabilizes itself. It maintains balance through gyroscopes and sensors that anticipate the rider's movement before it happens, and the rider interacts with it only through posture and body weight. It represents Yamaha's vision for the future of intelligent urban mobility. You cannot smell while sleeping. When you enter deep sleep, the sense of smell shuts down, and the brain ignores odors so it does not wake you. That is why smoke alarms use sound. A person could die in a fire simply because they cannot perceive the smell of smoke while sleeping deeply. The praxinoscope was invented in 1877 by the Frenchman Émile Renaud and was the direct precursor to cinema. It used a rotating drum with mirrors in the center that reflected successive drawings, creating the illusion of fluid movement without flickering. It was the first real step toward modern animation and was designed for a single viewer at a time. Salto del Agrio in Argentine Patagonia is a waterfall more than about 197 feet high with extremely acidic waters with a pH below 2 more acidic than lemon juice. This acidity gives it ochre and reddish tones that contrast with the green vegetation, creating a landscape of completely unusual colors. It is practically unknown outside Argentina, and geologists visit it to study the volcanic processes that generate that composition. DJI aerial LiDAR systems create three-dimensional maps with millimeter precision by combining laser technology with high-resolution cameras. They can penetrate dense vegetation to reveal hidden terrain topography, and what once required weeks of groundwork can now be achieved in a single flight. It has applications in archaeology, forest management, and urban planning. The great hornbill has a massive yellow casque above its enormous beak of the same color which it uses in territorial battles by colliding in mid-air like deer. Its body is black with a white abdomen and neck, and it can weigh up to about 9 pounds. It is one of the most imposing and striking birds of Southeast Asia. The artist Robin Channing appears to walk completely normally, while the world around him moves in unnatural and surreal ways. The secret is that he records all his movements backward and then plays the video in reverse during editing. This technique requires months of practice, so the reverse movements look completely fluid when played the other way. The research platform Flip can float both in a horizontal and vertical position. When it is vertical, the submerged hull is not affected by surface waves, giving it extraordinary stability. It is used by oceanographers to study currents and marine biology in conditions that would be impossible on a conventional vessel. Almost all world maps use the Mercator projection, which enlarges the size of countries as they move away from the equator. That is why Greenland appears as large as Africa. In reality, Africa is 14 times larger than Greenland, and within its outline you could easily fit all of China, the United States, India, Japan, and almost all of Europe. In Japan, there is a beverage flavored like mayonnaise that contains no real fat or egg, but artificial flavorings that recreate the tangy, creamy taste of the condiment. It was released as a special edition for fans of the famous Kewpie, the most popular Japanese mayonnaise. It comes in bottles that imitate sauce containers and has become a viral challenge for the brave people willing to try it. The Mangalica pig has hair so thick and curly that in many photos it looks like a sheep. With this Hungarian breed nearly went extinct in the 20th century, but was revived as a gourmet product because its meat is comparable to Iberian ham. Today it is a protected breed in Hungary, and raising it is considered national gastronomic heritage. For 27 years, the photographer Diana Demon photographed the farewell of her parents at the door of their house in Iowa. The images show how seasons change, cars become more modern, and her parents grow older, but the raised hand saying goodbye always remains the same. The series ends with a devastating image, the driveway completely empty. Alexi Siggy from the Savannah Bananas has revolutionized baseball by integrating acrobatic spins and coordinated throws during real plays. He uses the bat as an extension of his own body to perform tricks that combine athletic precision with the art of spectacle. His style challenges the limits of what an athlete can do with their equipment during a serious game. The city of Eindhoven in Germany looks like something out of a storybook, with buildings that have carved facades and vibrant painted colors. Some of the timber frame houses lining its streets date back to the 15th and 16th centuries. It is one of the best preserved towns in southern Germany and attracts tourists from around the world who come to photograph every corner. Japanese police use the sasumata, a traditional fork-shaped tool to immobilize suspects while maintaining a safe distance. Each officer also masters advanced martial arts techniques to neutralize threats without lethal force. When this approach turns every arrest into a high-precision tactical maneuver where discipline completely replaces violent methods. France has more time zones than any other country in the world, 12 in total. This is due to its overseas territory spread across the planet, including French Guiana, French Polynesia, Guadeloupe, Martinique, La Réunion, and more. One might think Russia holds the record because of its size, but the sun never truly sets on the total territory of France. The male mandarin duck has feathers crowned with green, red, orange, and white tones in incredibly elaborate patterns. During courtship, it spreads special feathers on its wings that rise like small orange sails. It is native to East Asia, and in traditional iconography, it symbolizes eternal love because mandarin ducks form pairs for life. The Japanese installation water pearl creates the illusion that water floats or travels upward using stroboscopic lights synchronized with the falling drops. The blinking tricks the human eye into perceiving each particle as suspended rather than moving. The precision of the system allows water to appear to move in slow motion in reverse or stop completely. The sudden jerk you feel just before falling asleep is called a hypnic jerk. Scientists believe it is an error during the brain's transition between wakefulness and sleep. When muscles relax, the brain interprets that relaxation as a fall and sends an emergency signal to catch it. It is completely harmless and very common in healthy people. The Mexican 50 peso bill with the axolotl creates real shortages because millions of people prefer to collect it instead of spending it. It received international awards for its design and complex security features, which causes people to keep it as a collector's item. Bills saved by collectors are sold online for prices far above their face value. Sherpa Elia Sharp found an unconscious climber on Everest more than about 26,247 feet high and carried him on her back for 6 hours down the mountain under extreme temperatures and minimal oxygen. Doctors said that without her intervention, the man would not have survived. Her story is cited in leadership courses as the ultimate example of decision-making under extreme pressure. Quantum levitation occurs when certain materials are cooled with liquid nitrogen until they become superconductors. A superconductor placed over a magnetic field floats in the air and moves without friction, always maintaining the same distance from the field, regardless of the force applied. This property, called the Meissner effect, is the basis of the most modern magnetic levitation trains in the world. Your brain uses less energy than a light bulb operating at about 20 watts less than the light inside your refrigerator. Meanwhile, the most powerful supercomputers in the world require millions of watts to perform calculations that your brain executes effortlessly. Per unit of energy consumed, it is the most efficient machine in the known universe. The origami artist F. Jackson creates beautiful masks using only a single sheet of paper and different folds without any cuts. His creations reference historical figures, deities from different cultures, or simply capture universal emotions. What surprises people most is that every piece starts from one complete sheet, demonstrating the limits of origami as a form of artistic expression. The latest generation Roomba robot vacuum uses artificial intelligence to identify and avoid specific obstacles, such as pet droppings and cables. It learns the layout of the home with every cleaning and has an automatic emptying station that allows it to operate for up to 60 days without human intervention. It is the first household vacuum that can be left running in a completely autonomous way. A dinosaur tail 99 million years old was found perfectly preserved in amber in Myanmar. Unlike stone fossils, this specimen preserves soft tissue and perfectly defined feathers with their original coloration in brown and white tones. It is definitive proof that many dinosaurs were feathered and colorful creatures, not scaly lizards. Tarsiers are small primates with the largest eyes in proportion to body size of any mammal. Their eyes are fixed to the skull and cannot move, so they rotate their heads up to 180 degrees to look to the sides. They are lethal nocturnal hunters that capture insects and small reptiles with incredible precision, despite being about the size of a human palm. The natural arch of Mount Tianmen in China stands about 430 feet high and has more than 1,000 years of recorded history. According to local legend, it is the point where the gods meet the mortal world. To reach its interior, visitors must climb 99 steps, which the Chinese call the Stairway to Heaven. The reason for gargoyles on cathedrals was not decoration or religious terror. Their main function was hydraulic. They are stone pipes that extend from the facades to throw rainwater far from the walls. In this way, the water did not run down the stone, preventing moisture from rotting the mortar and weakening the building's foundations. The water spider is the only arachnid in the world that lives completely underwater without gills or any special respiratory adaptation. It traps an air bubble between its abdomen and its waterproof hairs and carries it like a portable diving tank. It can renew the air in its bubble without leaving the water thanks to gas exchange with the surrounding water. The Hong Kong-Zhuhai-Macau Bridge is the longest sea bridge in the world, measuring about 34 miles in length. It includes an underwater tunnel almost about 4 miles long and was inaugurated in 2018 after more than 9 years of construction. It was designed to withstand earthquakes of magnitude 8 and the strongest typhoons in the region. The thymus organ is enormous in childhood because it is where immune system cells mature. When puberty arrives, the body considers that enough defenses have already been trained, and the thymus begins to shrink until it turns into fat. In older adults, it is almost non-existent, which explains why the immune system gradually weakens with age. The LG Signature T is the first 77-inch transparent OLED television in the world. Even when it is on displaying full-screen images, it still allows you to see what is behind it with complete clarity. When it is turned off, it simply looks like a glass window integrated into the furniture. The Seawise Giant was, during its 30 years of service, the largest ship ever built by humans, measuring about 1,500 3 feet long. It was so long that if it stood upright, it would be taller than the Empire State Building. It was sunk during the Iran-Iraq War and later recovered and repaired to continue operating. The first patient with a Neuralink brain chip can browse the internet and play video games using only the power of thought. The device detects electrical signals from neurons and translates them into precise digital commands in real time. For the patient who has severe paralysis, this means regaining autonomy and digital communication without any physical movement. The Chicago River flows in reverse because of a human decision. In 1900, the city permanently reversed the direction of the river through a system of locks and canals so that the water flowed toward the Mississippi instead of Lake Michigan. They did it to prevent polluted river water from reaching the lake where the population's drinking water supply was located. The Rolls-Royce La Rose reached $32 million at launch with paint that changes tone depending on lighting and an interior made of 1,600 pieces of wood assembled by hand over nearly 2 years. It also includes a detachable luxury watch on the dashboard and a refrigerated compartment for champagne. It demonstrates that for certain collectors, there are no limits between engineering and craftsmanship. Bridal veil fungi produce a foul-smelling substance to attract flies that disperse their spores. At dawn, when they have just emerged, they look spectacular with their immaculate lace veil hanging from the cap. By midday, that veil has already dissolved and disappeared, making their appearance a spectacle that is as brief as it is beautiful. Natural vanilla is the second most expensive spice in the world after saffron because it comes from an orchid that only opens its flowers one day each year. In Mexico, native bees pollinate it, but in Madagascar, each vanilla pod must be pollinated manually. Flower by a human using a small wooden stick. The Formula Rossa roller coaster at Ferrari World Abu Dhabi is the fastest in the world, launching passengers to about 149 miles per hour in less than 5 seconds. The acceleration is so intense that riders must wear protective goggles. The park that hosts it is also the largest indoor theme park on the planet. The stapedius muscle is the smallest skeletal muscle in the human body, measuring only about 0.04 inches. It is located in the middle ear and tightens instantly when you hear a very loud sound to limit the movement of the stirrup bone. It acts like a biological volume limiter, protecting you from hearing loss caused by sudden high-intensity noise. Moto mods were accessories that attached magnetically to Moto Z smartphones and transformed them into movie projectors, radios, cameras with zoom or extra batteries. The system was launched in 2016 and represented Motorola's vision of the perfect modular phone. It was discontinued but is still remembered as one of the most original concepts in mobile technology. Reforestation drones can plant up to 40,000 seeds in a single day by firing biodegradable capsules containing seeds and nutrients into hard-to-reach terrain. The system is up to 10 times faster than manual planting, and it has already been used successfully in Australia, Brazil, and several regions of sub-Saharan Africa to restore ecosystems destroyed by fires or deforestation. The Samsung Galaxy Ring monitors health 24 hours a day from the finger without the need for a watch on the wrist. It analyzes sleep quality, heart rate, and skin temperature, sending data to the phone with artificial intelligence recommendations. Its battery lasts up to 7 days on a single charge, and it does not require any monthly subscription. The Arctic tern holds the record for the longest migration in the animal kingdom, traveling from the Arctic to Antarctica and back every year, covering about 43,000 miles. Because of this pattern, it experiences 2 summers each year and sees more daylight than any other creature on the planet, living in an almost constant state of daylight. The Kunigami crotalaria, known as the green hummingbird flower, has blossoms so similar to a hummingbird that many tourists mistake them for real birds. It is a shrub native to Okinawa that grows up to about 9 feet tall, and its flowers have the exact shape of a hummingbird perched on a branch with its beak attached to the stem. This similarity is not only aesthetic, the shape attracts the specific pollinators it needs to reproduce. The Italian artist Pietro Catadella paints illusions on everyday objects so they appear three-dimensional or make walls open portals to non-existent worlds. A cup of coffee can seem to float in empty space, or a gray wall can become the window of a cabin. Everything is created with paint and perspective without any kind of digital editing. As the astronomer Carl Sagan explained, every atom of iron in our blood, the calcium in our teeth, and the carbon in our genes was forged in the heart of massive stars billions of years ago. When those stars exploded as supernovas, they scattered their elements across the cosmos, eventually forming our solar system. Far from being poetic metaphor, we are literally stardust that became conscious. The largest wooden wind turbine in the world was built in Sweden by the company Modvion and can provide electricity to 400 homes. Laminated wood has a lower carbon footprint than steel and can be manufactured in sections that are transportable by road, eliminating the problem of metal towers that are too large to travel on highways. It shows that the oldest material in history can be the most modern solution for wind energy. Where transparent solar windows capture only non-visible wavelengths, such as infrared and ultraviolet, allowing normal light to pass through without obstacles. This means any glass building can become a massive power plant without altering its appearance. It is an advance that redefines modern architecture and could drastically reduce the carbon footprint of cities. Spider silk is up to 5 times stronger than steel of the same weight and is also extremely elastic. This combination of strength and flexibility has captured the interest of scientists who study it to create artificial tendons and ligaments, advanced surgical sutures that are strong and biodegradable, and materials for protective military applications. Or the Tasmanian devil suffers from a contagious cancer unique in the world, transmitted through bites on the face when the animals fight over food. The cancer cells implant in the wound, and the tumor grows rapidly, deforming the jaw until feeding becomes impossible. This disease has devastated entire populations and forced intensive conservation programs for the species. Kombucha is basically sweetened tea possessed by a colony of bacteria and yeast, the famous SCOBY, which looks like a jellyfish in a jar. This gelatinous disc transforms the tea into a tangy, slightly carbonated beverage full of organic acids that many associate with digestive benefits. Many shark eggs resemble small leather pouches with strings at the corners, so much so that sailors nicknamed them mermaid purses. Inside, a tiny predator slowly cooks until it's ready for the ocean. High-quality chocolate contains anandamide, a molecule similar to cannabinoids produced by the brain itself. That "wow, I feel great" feeling after a good bar isn't just gluttony. There's literal happiness chemistry at work. At Cannae in 216 BC, Hannibal executed one of the most brutal military maneuvers in history. He let the center of his troops sink and envelop the Romans from the flanks, creating a pincer movement that virtually annihilated them. That maneuver is still studied in modern military academies. Jeanne Beret was the first woman to circumnavigate the globe, but she had to do it disguised as a man because women were forbidden from embarking on French expeditions in the 18th century. She endured years of travel, suspicion, and danger, and only centuries later is she being recognized as the scientist and explorer she was. The bottlenose dolphin sleeps with half its brain at a time and one eye open. While one half rests, the other takes care of breathing, watching for predators, and continuing to swim. It's the biological version of partial airplane mode. Tiffany blue isn't just a pretty color. It's a registered trademark and part of the jewelry brand's psychological appeal. That sky blue box triggers a mixture of luxury, romance, and something expensive is inside in many people, even before they open it. Tabasco sauce isn't just spicy. Its chili puree is aged for up to 3 years in white oak barrels in Louisiana. It's basically a chili wine, oxidizing and concentrating its flavor before it reaches your taco. The U.S. Declaration of Independence wasn't signed on July 4th, but mostly on August 2nd, 1776. The 4th is the official birthday of the text, not the signatures, patriotic marketing dating back to the 18th century. The sun has such a powerful magnetic field that it forms a giant bubble of plasma, the heliosphere, which envelops the entire solar system beyond Pluto. We live within the sun's aura. In Alesia, Julius Caesar built 2 complete walls around the city, one to contain the Gauls and another, facing outwards, to resist reinforcements. It was a double enclosure that turned his army into both a prison and a fortress. The Cabbage Patch Kids of 1983 weren't just dolls. They were babies for adoption with official papers. People went so crazy that there were fights in stores and a frenzy that foreshadowed modern toy hype culture. Modern chewing gum was born when Thomas Adams tried using tree resin, chicle, to make tires. When that didn't work, he tried sweetening it and chewing it, and unwittingly created a multi-billion-dollar industry that literally thrives on you chewing flavored plastic. There is a place on Earth called Dalal in Ethiopia, which holds the record for being the inhabited place with the highest average annual temperature on the planet, exceeding about 93 degrees Fahrenheit annually. This hyper-acidic landscape is full of salt formations, sulfur springs, and toxic gases. The famous Windows startup sound used in Windows 95 was composed by musician and producer Brian Eno. He created it on a Macintosh computer and was inspired by futuristic and celestial sounds. Eno was commissioned by Microsoft to create a piece of music that lasted exactly 3.25 seconds. The coconut can float and survive long journeys across oceans for up to 110 days without the inner seed rotting. Its strong, fibrous outer shell contains an internal air chamber that keeps it afloat. This adaptation has been key for the natural colonization of remote Pacific islands without any human intervention. And that brings us to the end of this hour of curiosities. If you liked the video, subscribe so you do not miss the next ones, and leave in the comments which of all these facts you found the most incredible. See you in the next video.